And taking a live look outside from Lookout Mountain over Golden, not a cloud in the sky. It is looking good, and we have a great forecast on deck. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Lawrence Gaffiti. Let's send things on over to Weather Impact Team meteorologist Jaden Knowles, who has had a Valentine's Day poem all morning long. And Jaden, I just came up with my own. Can I hit ya?
Yeah, come on, let me hear it.
Roses are red, although some are pink. I want to see some more snow in this forecast because it's still February, I think.
Wow. Did you chat GPT that, Lauren?
No.
that was off the dome, huh?
Right up here. Pretty
okay,
good, right?
I like that. That was good right there. I got one for you. Roses are red, violence. We're just going to get into the forecast. Not much of a poet there, but we did see some snow that Lauren was talking about over the last couple of days for the high country, only about 3 inches. You can see the roadways there looks to be pretty fine. Cars are moving nice and steadily there. So far, though, our temperatures are in the low to mid 30s, low 40s. We're going to quickly warm up, though, to the upper 50s. That's what's in my forecast for this afternoon. Current temperatures across the entire state, the low to mid 40s for the eastern plains, 20s and 30s across the high country, and then also the low 30s for the western slope. Now, we did see that storm system continue to track towards the east. Now we're starting to taper off with the rain showers there. Just some light mist is all we're seeing down just south of Kit Carson, and that's going to continue to track towards the east into Kansas, and then noticing behind it across the rest of the state, dry conditions, and that's exactly what's in the forecast. Lots of sunshine, little to no cloud coverage, and the upper 50s quickly returning. So here's your Valentine's Day forecast. 58 degrees, lots of sunshine, and perfect conditions to take your loved one out on a date this evening. But overall, later on in the show, we'll talk much more in details about what to expect as we head into next week. Lauren?
Jaden, thank you so much. Commerce City Police arrested a man in connection to last night's Amber Alert. Most people in the Denver area got the alert on their phone around dinner time. Commerce City Police say a 4-year-old boy was forcibly taken after a standoff at a home near the Buffalo Run golf course. A few hours later, police said they found the boy and arrested a man, 45-year-old Jeremy Chavez. He's facing a laundry list of charges, including burglary, child abuse, kidnapping, car theft, and domestic violence. As of this morning, no court date has been set. 4 people are dead after a small plane crashed in Steamboat Springs early Friday morning. A preliminary report from the FAA says the crash happened near Emerald Mountain just after midnight. Flight tracker shows the plane came from Nashville and stopped in Kansas City before heading to Steamboat. The bodies of the 4 victims have been recovered. Their names are not being released yet. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office has identified the gunman in a shooting at a primary care clinic in Evergreen on Thursday. Jefferson County deputies say 62-year-old Lance Black fired shots at the Common Spirit Primary Care Center just before 4:30 p.m. Deputies showed up at the scene about 5 minutes later, and when they got there, they say broken glass was around and they believe that was caused by gunfire. Deputies found Black, who used a shotgun to take his own life. Black was a former patient at the facility. His motive is still under investigation this morning. The Department of Homeland Security is officially in a partial shutdown after Congress left Washington for a planned recess with no funding deal in place. Most DHS workers are going to remain employees, although many of them aren't going to get paychecks until the lapse in funding is resolved. Democrats have demanded more time to negotiate reforms to immigration enforcement operations after the shooting death of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minneapolis. They want tighter parameters around search and arrest warrants. They also want immigration and customs enforcement agents to wear body cameras and get rid of masks. Most of the department's personnel are considered essential, meaning that they would stay on the job but without pay until a funding agreement is finally reached. The public probably won't notice this partial shutdown as parts of the federal government, including the IRS and national parks, are staying open. The search for Nancy Guthrie enters its 14th day today. Authorities say that they have found DNA at the property, but it's not Nancy's, and it's not anyone in close contact with her. They did not say exactly where that DNA was found. The new details come after they say that they believe the individual is about 5'9" to 5'10" with an average build. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told CNN that he believes Nancy Guthrie will be found.
This search is about to enter its 3rd week. As we sit here today, do you think Nancy Guthrie will be found?
Yes, I believe she'll be found. And I believe that we are working as hard as we can to do that as fast as we can. Sometimes it just doesn't work that way, but we are working hard.
The Tucson community continues to support the Guthrie family, putting these yellow ribbons and flowers near her property. Don Lemon appeared in a courtroom in Minnesota on Friday after he was arraigned on federal charges related to a protest at a church in St. Paul last month. Lemon pleaded not guilty to 2 charges. Prosecutors claim he was a part of a takeover-style attack where protesters entered the sanctuary during a church service. Lemon says he was only covering the protest as a journalist and did not participate. Today marks another deadline passed for 7 states that share the Colorado River to secure a collective agreement on managing its shrinking water supply. The governors of Nevada, California, and Arizona announced on Friday that there will be no resolution in time for today's deadline. Those lower basin states have been in a standoff with the upper basin states of Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Wyoming for years now. The last missed deadline was in November. The new rules, whenever they're agreed upon, would take effect later this year. They'll impact 40 million people who rely on the river for water. Ring is responding to that Super Bowl commercial that you saw. It showed how homeowners can share their camera's video to help pet owners find lost dogs. The commercial drew some pretty big concern from people worried about how AI technology might be used. Amazon, which owns Ring, said it's ending their partnership with Flock Safety. They let Ring owners share video with law enforcement agencies. Ring's dog finding function is still going to be available. The mayor of Denver is asking outside companies to submit a bid for a surveillance camera contract. That's according to 9 News resources. It could be a sign that Denver is ready to move on from its current camera partner, a company called Flock. We were just talking about that. City council members have rejected contracts with Flock in the past. At the time, they said that they were worried about how photos and videos might be shared on there. You'll also remember back in August, 9 News uncovered a contract between Flock and Border Patrol, despite the company telling the public that it didn't have any federal contracts. Denver cannot legally say right now that Flock won't get the new contract, but if the city was happy with Flock, it just goes like this. The city confirmed that it would simply extend the current deal. Publicly, the mayor has supported the Flock cameras, but multiple sources tell 9 News that they expect Axon and Motorola are in the mix to get the contract. In one of the biggest surprises of the Winter Games so far, American figure skater Ilya Malinin, nicknamed the Quad God, didn't make the podium in the men's figure skating final. The gold medal favorite fell twice in his performance. The shocking performance knocked him down to 8th place. It's the first time he's lost in competition since 2023. In an interview with NBC after that competition, the 21-year-old said, quote, "I blew it."
Honestly, I knew that, I should have made a mistake happen and should have tried to put it aside and focus on the next thing, but it's almost like I wasn't aware of where I was in the program. It was like, I felt like usually I have more time and more feeling of how it is, but this time it all went by so fast and I really didn't have time to make those changes or make that process different.
Oh, you can tell he is just crushed. He goes on to say, quote, "The pressure is unreal. It's really not easy, but I'm still proud of being able to get to the finish, barely."